Yeah, if you guys want to call it, we can.
Sorry, let's call it to order. So September 20th and 1:35. A second? On favor? Aye. Okay. So we're gonna jump to, ARPA funds, because you're doing it? Yeah. Okay, so I have, so remaining ARPA funds I have, if I just take out 6,500, so for BMX, and then, personal payment, if we do 3,000, fiscal year 2025 and 2026, so it's 3,000 each year, 6,500 for the BMX. And so I have you left with a remaining balance, like tentatively of $5,207.06. So that either needs to be kind of, spent prior to December 1st, or, it has to be like a,
Hold on it.
yes, like some sort of like contract,
Invoice appeal.
yes, okay, just showing them how it's spent. Or if that doesn't get spent by December 1st, then that money just goes away. So, you know, and there is a little bit left in the Canadian, not that much, but if we do go like a little over. Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Rebecca Morse, and I'm a community services coordinator. Sorry, I don't have to.
That's right. I just feel like you probably again met you about a year ago. But
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't think he was here when he not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, so what's our allocated left over after everything else?
After everything, what's allocated left over, I have $5,207.06. And I might want to just check in next week. I just want to make sure that my invoices match. Putting something in your column that doesn't belong there.
Yeah, we can sit down next week if you want to and just line item by line and make sure.
Yes, and if you said I don't want to report you.
Yeah.
Then that, but that's what I have, and I don't see any other invoices unless there's something else that hasn't cleared yet that is. We can just kind of go through that, but tentatively.
Where I was too, when I was just doing averaging of numbers, but I don't, you know, when my phone goes like, okay, it's 2,100, I know it's only 2,080 for level 99, but in my head it's 2,100. So, you know, so like I'm averaging the numbers out, so that's roundabout where I thought we were gonna be one to the rest of that.
I'm gonna send this to you, you know, it's
Yeah, that's
send you the whole, what's left in three. So, you're gonna get everybody's stuff, but I think.
That's fine. I'll pull mine and just take a look.
Yeah, your column, you'll see which column you want. I think your column, 3.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me tell you. Okay. Yeah, your column. So you're the third column, in which it's clearly labeled recreation and less labeled choose.
Okay, I'll take a look at it and then match it up with what I have to make sure that it's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yeah.
And so that's just what I just wanted to bring that in, like you guys know also. And like I said, December 1st. Okay. That's when the money needs to be either spent or we have held contracted to spend something in writing showing that this is what the plan is going. Okay, but yeah, so that's.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in and no, I just trying to get the numbers done.
Okay, I'm just gonna add this before I leave, so then.
Of course.
Okay, well, yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for the. Thank you.
Email you Monday and we can figure out.
Yeah, let's meet next week, yeah. And then I will be over at town hall because. Okay, So now we'll go back to summer rec and tell us all about this.
Where are we at? We guys got the columns, we got the left of columns. So we came in at just about 47. Which is great. I didn't do all of the sections because I'm still working with Beckner, the ARPA versus how much took of each one, like because ARPA didn't pay for some of the kids' supplies, like the bigger activity supplies that we did and stuff. So I want to put that in as our standard sections, right?
So this is our.
So that's our total. And I did a little something different too on payroll. Instead of subtracting mine directly from it, I put the total amount there and then to show what my takeout will be. So it showed the staff separately. But this gives a fuller idea of what the summer total for payroll is, including. So those end numbers where it says is 8615 and 93 cents, that's inclusive of my payroll. And then down below, you see it's like minus 2009 5312. So that if you took mine out, that's mine. So no, so that is what mine is. So you would subtract that out. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't do the math because I wanted to have that total.
Every line, so the negative is.
We need to know that. Yeah, you subtract for that mine. That negative is mine. Take that out. So that payroll July 7th to 20th, because that's we have that year's split payroll. That's why you have to really talk for that first week because the split payroll comes July 1st. So it's actually, it would actually be closer to, like 10.8 is what we paid for the payroll. Right, if you take that money. So it's more like that, right? But like I said, I wanted to have because we've always taken it out in the past and with me doing 40 hours or so, it makes more sense for you guys to do that. The whole thing. Yeah. But that's not, but when we're gonna, when I come back at this once I get all my numbers and put together, I'll do it with the deduction so that we can do it out of the 47.
Right, that would be nice.
So that we have a remaining, but without that, it's sort of, it would be expensive of me.
Well, those are the big ticket items.
Right, so it makes sense. Now, when I did all of my numbers in really certainly covered. And we're good.
Good.
No whole stuff this year.
That's good.
So, but I wanted to compare, so, summer 2023, so last, we did 39. So we're just under 2,000 for what we got this year. That's it. Yeah, it really is. We had 9 full day kids in 2023. We only had 7 this year. And we had 69 5-day task kids in 23, but we had 50 this year in 24. So there's our increase. So that's like that was good. So
how did tennis do? How many times?
So tennis. So we had it was 125 each. We had 10 times.
Nice.
So not bad at all. And that's our, so we get 20% to 40%. 1250, so we get 250.
Nice.
Right? So yeah, that was good. So let's see. CITs. So CITs last year I had 6, this year I had 4. And we see payroll, we went over that. Total kids registered. So in 23, we had 83, and 24, I had 7. The numbers are pretty similar though. My average daily attendance is 31. My lowest attendance data was 17. Now that day was like 9,025 degrees. So I had a couple of days that were really low. We ended up with a great fall, and that keeps it like.
Yeah, and I think that parents have gotten to the point that they know that we can only offer what we can offer, and it's not really ideal or safe. And it's great that you can use the great room for the kids that there isn't something.
Right.
So.
And on top of that, I think too, some of the parents, they're being more conscious of what the days that they're using.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if they're just going to be at the great hall today, if they have the flexibility in their schedule, they don't quote unquote waste that day. Right? So some of them that use us because of their work situation is very different than
of course, they have no real,
their kids are just truly coming for the recreation. Yeah. So I think that shows in those. days. And then you'll see for my highest total attendance for 2023 was 38 and high for 24 school
So
year.
it's kind of all the same.
We're right about in there, we're right about it there, I've got some ideas and I'm gonna work on through the winter, before we start putting things out in January, February, on, ways I wanna shift and grow certain aspects of summer rec, like I really want to pull the 10, 11, 12-year-olds and create their own entity within it, because they still need rec, but in a lot of cases, do a job, especially with the influx of, I don't know, from maturity, because they're studying their worldwide, like over the internet. I think we might need to do some break off in that and look at and kind of the restriction. So it might be a lot of work, but I think if we take it as one, so like, we're looking at some other programs that have that completely satisfied. And I know we've talked in the past about that middle age group. We're just seeing such a huge difference.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would be
Evident.
yeah, and a couple of years ago, things, and now.
Having spent some time there this summer, you can very clearly.
Yeah. And thank you again.
Really wish.
I'm right. It was fun. We had a really great meeting.
Good, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually have police in summer long. We had some great vendors in here that did, awesome job with the kids. And,
The water inflatables were super fun.
Super fun.
Everybody liked them.
yeah, and then being able to open that up, so that.
I like it.
And so we did allocate those for 25 and 26 for the summer. After that, we're gonna have to again look at how we can fund those. And it's a big expense for, a couple of days in the summer, 3 days or, 3 grand. And then after inflation, we're looking at 32, 34, 35. So, we're gonna have to sort of look at those sources going forward, but I think we'll be able to manage it. I think it's really a big draw because there is no water feature in Townsend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a hit.
yeah, it's absolutely broad. And having to leave the content made it a lot easier, in advance, and I know it was really frustrating, again, we had nothing but was like slipstream hot, and that's all we had, like, right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and get out of the rain, which was ridiculous. So we're there, we are prepaid for the BMX, so we've allocated that for BMX for next year. But again, we've got a couple of guys that are local, so I didn't want to lock us in for the next year after that as well. And that, again, I think if we go ahead, I haven't used it in a while, but we can use the Dynamic Rally Foundation and apply for a couple of their grants for community entertainment. For the things that they decide for. After that. So summer refund, I have the email here, again, just for as a reminder, obviously I'm not going to use the whole name, because I have it in the agenda, just one thing, first and initial, but basically, it's a medical situation, and in the past, due to medical situations, we have refunded some of that money. I have that the daughter was, I actually had that she came, my attendance had her for 3 days and 2 days unused. I'll confirm that again. I'll go back through the answers, and check those things again. But I don't think it's a big deal because the medical we did in the past. The medical last year, we extended that one child to be able to use his items for this year because he was really ill. So, I think I'd send it up to you guys again. I have it email here. I don't, because of the minor, I don't want to do it out loud necessarily. But it is a medical situation, and I do think that's my personal opinion because we do really have in the medical situation, because the various pathways that always my recommendation, yeah. Obviously,
So there was for the 2 unused days.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
So then they're looking for a refund or to use during the school year.
So if it's one of the weekends, there's a couple of days in that time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be more.
Yeah, and again, and you guys have done that before.
Yeah.
You just extended it, or you split it, and again, if you want to do that, that's fine as well. However, again, I
I feel like it was.
feel like for some.
Yeah, they come during the school year.
Okay.
So then,
If the older child, I don't, she wouldn't be coming next year unless she had.
So, can we go forward, guys, and say, we want to put a vote for the 2 days? Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, the two.
Yeah,
we'll say that.
Okay, so for, refund for
Mom, sorry,
Sarah Star for, 2 unused days. I think we're going to go to, refund the 2 unused days. And, second, so I, yeah,
going to fill that. With that, so right. Okay. Let's see. So we're on hold,
mhm,
so I'm not aware.
mhm.
What town thing, great. So, and it's a bummer that we're able to get it done, because we have to talk about, inflation, so we're doing that as another. I think we lay out for next year. So I'm just gonna say 45, so we calculate it. Because again, I think some of the top number right there, because we have to use their, right, we have to use their people that are not the contract certified with their kind of thing. So, there may be some fluctuation in there. So I got grant stuff. In queue, we've been talking about it, but ideas that we're like half ideas. And there's one grant that's sitting out there that we won't know anything about until in July. Then, so we need to get this done.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Erin, who handles the grants in town hall, she's right for me. A lot of the grants that are out there are looking for match. Again, and this is not a lot of money. I mean, even if we're talking about $1,000. And in the grand scheme of things, that is not a lot. But we do need to come up with that we can for at least kind of it, that we can force the minutes. For the students were able to.
And then we need like,
And then we got
April.
Probably, yeah. Early, probably getting into the control.
Yeah.
Because it has to be specific.
It has to be very temperature, but like the sooner we get that going, it kind of,
Yeah.
it sets like a, we are doing this.
Just out here, yeah, it's gotta get done. So, any grant that you come across, and if you guys have funding, I figure I'm gonna rewrite with the updates of what we've already done, what we're looking to do, and the other things we've done in the community, and send out to local businesses and groups for sponsorship for it. We still have, we're doing the town seal in one of we have the circles on them. We're doing the town seal in one. We do have town recreation from the second, third, and third open, and you can always post town recreation as well. So, onto that once a year. Yeah, a substantial amount towards getting this finished. That's one of the things that we're sort of for.
Is there a sterile again?
There is not. There is not, unfortunately. So we are just, like I said, I'm gonna send that letter out. I think I'll do a rewrite and send it to Liz. I'm gonna send it to you for rewrite. And
Yeah, that's fine.
just because Rachel can be handling our other things. But like I said, it's kind of crossing, you can see everything in the process. Fees, and any other box we can this is great. Unfortunately, we're in a position where a lot of the events that we could do are tied up with another entity in town. That's all I have to say about that. So, that's really gonna change. So, thinking pass on, my friends. Okay. Thinking pass on. Figure out what we do to get this. Rachel.
School, I got my, information on, I think it was Tuesday. So they're gonna be opening up, registration on October 2nd, so we need to get our spot on, for our local field rep adds to it, the second. Yes, so, soon, later. I know last year some parents, one in particular, thought that we should be getting a bus and or taking a poll of the parents to see if I'm not really sure what else we can do.
I'm happy to get the buses, however, if we're gonna get the buses, then we're looking at charging each.
Last year again, like, yeah, last year before inflation and everything like that, of this year,
Right.
2 years ago, the
Mhm.
pricing, it was gonna be 150 per child each. And I've got some families that have 4 kids. So I think for us, as a recreation department, it's more important to open it up to as many people that can access it.
Absolutely.
I do agree, like, it was great when we could do the busing, but we just don't have the upfront funding right now.
Correct.
Do that.
We do not have that kind of funding, and honestly, I don't think parents want to pay an extra $120 a kid.
I also think though, there are some parents that take advantage of that and in a way, like, in a good way, because
Right.
they can bring their kids and they can access the pricing because we are a rec board. We're the only ones who can access allowing parents and siblings to attend and, yeah. So there's that we're kind of, we're offering it more in that way. Yeah, I know it's not ideal, but I don't think that we're in a position to do it.
Creation is the fact that we are financially more accessible or try to be more accessible. So, I don't like that we can't be like, hey, have a bus and a staff member to pay for by the time. We don't.
But
So,
that's it, realistically, we just
Realistically,
don't have
we
the infrastructure to set up to do this. So what I'm saying we should do is like we did last few years, we'll get some volunteers and we'll access the pricing and we'll go from there.
I have to, and they do it for the school, and my thought was, do we want to add in the registration where they can check off if they're looking, like their email out to the other registered parents for parking? Like they do that for.
People do that anyway, so I guess we could just, like, I know that that's how most people do it.
Okay.
It's kind of turned into a bit of a little gang, like a little group, because people go and then they're waiting there or they're watching their kids or the kids are all skiing together, so people kind of have just made those connections naturally. But yeah, I do think it's important when they're young, just starting out, that they do have an adult to kind of support them, because, you know, it's great to have volunteers and stuff, but they're not ski instructors and they're not, and I think especially when they're a newbie, I have offered the parents to become one of the volunteers, or the chaperones, because if your kid doesn't ski and hasn't skied, they're gonna need a little bit more one-on-one attention. And if I'm trying to keep track of 50+ kids, I just feel like we're going to see for that. So we usually have 20 chaperone spots that we can offer.
Okay.
That's worked really well in the past. So I already have people reaching out to me.
Okay, great. So we want to get this, so basically.
We want to put a few blasts out, let people know that sign-ups are coming soon.
Okay.
We want to make sure that, I forget what it's called, the thing on the town page that we pay through.
Oh,
Unipay, sorry, yeah. We want to make sure we have that little thing on Unipay, and then I think we're all set. That's all we need to do.
So I'm gonna add some more into that registration, on Unipay.
Yes.
One of our companies that we just did.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead, I'll get those to you ASAP. We can just.
Yeah, because I'm gonna start, yeah. And you know,
What are the dates? What's the actual start date of?
it starts on the 2nd, which is a Thursday, but we're gonna be on a Monday, so I think it's. So January 2nd is when this key program for school start, we're on Monday, so. Is it the 6th? Yeah, so we'll be starting on the 6th and we'll go. I'll have some information, I think they can access it. Yeah. I would say the first few blasts are a little bit more vague than that, because then we can actually use the Wachusett wordage.
Right.
They'll be getting that out to me soon, and then it's just, we're not like crossroads. Just because people are like, This is, yeah,
I know.
you guys are doing it, I'm like, we're so bad. It's just the most affordable way,
It really is,
and it's still very expensive.
and it is still very expensive.
You know, there have been increases as with everything else, but it's still, good.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And it's been going on for a really long time.
Yeah, and it's got a steady following, so.
All right, awesome. And it's still third grade.
They changed the wordage this year, so it is third year, it is third grade plus, but they have to be 9. So third grade plus 9. I've yet to check out third graders' ID, but they probably ask those, but that's something the mountain does.
Right.
We don't have to deal with that.
That's not,
That's not our policing, yeah, but.
okay.
But historic, that might be a surprise to some people, but historically, they came that last year, but they didn't really enforce it because it was the first year they changed.
Okay, that should be fine.
Yep.
Fingers crossed, should be fine. So I've been looking at roller, to try and do a couple of dates this winter for, date night.
That'd be very fun, yeah.
So,
Can we do it as a fundraiser?
so that's kind of what I was thinking, can we do that? Because I'd like to do it sort of, I'd like to do it more than once. Can we spin it into a fundraiser as well? When I, well, we actually, it was every other week.
I remember.
We actually,
Yeah.
I got the boxes and we took it and we went roller skating, right? So,
It was just like, yeah, roller skating party,
roller skating party, that's, and we did that every week. And
so
it
fun.
was in the winter. So, I'm not looking to do it every other week, but I would like to do it at least a couple of times to do that winter season. You know, if we're looking at from, let's say, mid-November to mid-February.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay,
And I think through that, maybe,
and maybe we can do a couple of, you know, throw them in as a fundraiser.
yeah.
At least one of them. Fundraiser.
It just gets the kids doing something if they're not gonna be.
Right.
And the winter
Roller
seems to be getting,
Yeah,
like, increased again.
It's getting very
It
good.
wasn't just a rollerblades, for birthday.
Yeah, I'm
excited.
Yeah. Dan starts finding, Dan starts finding himself like in the school. They find. But back in the day, they thought one of them, it's just crap. He used to wear them like his very early 2019. But yeah, so we go, Matt goes, but it is in varying days, you know, Wednesday night, Monday night.
Yeah, they have, I worked in doing like birthday parties.
Yeah.
And a lot
And
of.
it's busy,
Mhm.
and it's
A
busy.
lot of people know.
Full on.
So how does it work? Like, we wouldn't have it to ourselves.
Right, so they have, so Camps Rec and school groups are slightly different than fundraisers, the way they have. But there's a couple of different options. Now, so this is a minimum of 50 kids. They do have a small group pricing, which is a little bit higher than a minimum of 30 kids. All right, but so option one is $50 per child with commission and payment. At this, I don't know if we want it necessarily, I think it's $60 to regular. Like, that's not going to 60, and that's without having a minimum from 50, so I'm not sure how we want to do that. Option two, though, this may be worth it, it's $70 per child, it's admission, gate rental, 2 seconds. So that's what we.
So are we having parents drop their kids off with us and we have a few of our staff members there and like?
So that's between doing a group and doing a fundraiser. So we do decide to do like a family fundraiser, that's one sort of thing. If we do it as a group, that's the second. Now, with that, we could, since this is something different that's really starting to pop up, we could talk about possibly, we'll talk about this on maybe two, maybe do possibly two of them. With our. That's where that all situation. And we're doing a 1 or 2 off, not an entire season, every week. So that might be something that.
But then we have to limit. They can go.
Right, so we've won basketball, and beyond that, if families are coming with extra children or what have you, then it's on the same thing, we wouldn't, it couldn't be open from 7-year-olds to 15-year-olds. We have to, like, maybe we do one with the younger kids and one with older kids.
Yeah.
Or, and then, you know, family fundraiser, but this is something that I wanted to stick out there so that we could talk about it maybe more and then throw some things out there.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Because they are, it is definitely gaining popular.
It is, yeah.
The other thing too is launch. We could totally do a fundraiser for launch.
Okay.
And that's pretty easy, and they basically do it for you.
Yeah, they do.
Like, you don't even have to do that.
Yeah, no, they do everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's part of the admission.
So what we've run into, that won't allow us to fundraiser because we're not nonprofit.
Okay.
So yeah, you can check with them and see how they allow it, or if they allow it through municipalities, as well as recreation department, or school, education, whatever. Or if they will allow it for nonprofit, because that's what we run into a couple of other times.
So are we kind of more lumped into, like, if they allow it for a school, they might allow it for us?
Yeah, okay, yeah, if they allow.
Because I know there's actually fundraisers for that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so it, again,
Yeah,
do they allow?
Are they doing it through the PTO or are they doing it for the school? I think it's through the PTO.
oh, is that,
Yeah.
so,
That's the workaround.
okay, all right, find out.
So that's the fine. But that could be another one. Have the contact information, so I did reach out to her by email about. Even anything else. So I.
Is that the one?
There's one at Tingsboro, one at something. But yeah, Tingsboro, I'm not sure about.
But I know most of the kids here, that's what they go.
Yeah, well, like I said, Mac was people from here, so. So that's that, rec kids, I don't have, I mean, so that's that, we've got a couple things to look at, so we need to get, for, yeah, we'll be getting into launch, fundraiser and, this is cost, and again, what's most cost effective, if we want to do, like, just like ski, I mean, you know, we want to do like ski, and like, open the family, and agents, you know, stay up, or not up. Fine, we want to do it where Jack separate, it's the separate grade. I guess that probably should just notify them, I do a little bit of research, I'll talk to them over there, see what they use most often, see what's most example. Okay. All right, rec kids, we're moving right along, our 5-day at this point, we have, the 3 of the days are like 11 kids in the afternoon, and the other, then like 10 at noon. I think, you know, we're busy. And our mornings where last year we had like 2 or 3 kids, our mornings were like 5 to 8.
Wow.
Nice.
That's good.
Like somewhere in there. So, yeah, we're consistent on that one.
I think people out here are going, oh,
Yeah, yeah. A lot of companies that have been allowing hybrid work are no longer.
and it's not consistent, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think it's dangerous as well. I am going to go ahead and, you know, we don't really advertise it per se, but I do want to try and, you know, because we allow registrations throughout the year, I really want to spend more time giving exclusive application.
Yeah.
Here we are still available.
Need a,
Yeah, a lot of just word of mouth.
Right.
it is, and a lot of people say, oh, what do you do before or after school? And then people say,
Like, well, it's not even too much like a form, but like, they want their kids to play. And that's more, because we don't do any homework, we don't do any schoolwork, really, like, it's, really, they want their kids to play, what do you do, and where they go, and how they play. And some people just get out just so that their kids can come, because their other friends.
what do you know, like, this is like super, like, old school, but like, what if flyer? Like with a little thing, you could rip on, that like, you know, the library and, like, or,
Kids make the flyer.
that's cool, yeah.
Because then it's them, like, drawing what they love about rec kids. And, you know, having each kid make their own flyer, then when they're out with their mom and Hanford, I made that flyer.
Yeah, and then, not like we need a big printing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like we're parents for those.
Yeah, I can do that, and I know some of the pieces I can go out and put them out, and some of the stores being like, so it's just finding one, but.
And we don't need a ton, it's just like a little something different, you know.
I like that idea. All right, we'll work on that. Okay, sorry. So that's the Community Preservation Act that's going forward. We've got enough signatures, it's gonna be on the ballot in November. So
They
they're,
got the mailer yesterday.
yeah, so the mailers are up, the we signed up, so that's happening. I'm just giving you this for that one, so it makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah,
Well, and it will
it's,
affect, right?
it's absolutely,
Mhm.
getting finances to that. The fact that money from the town's already going into it and it's going to other towns because we're not,
Yeah, that's,
so for me, I'm like, I want that. Like, I want that money.
I like that there's a opt-out clause too.
And there,
I
yeah,
think,
absolutely,
there is definitely, it's very.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
it's
So
very.
there's a meeting tonight on the 26th.
Yeah, I believe it's 26.
So hopefully people that don't understand.
Hopefully, because we have the benefits of our year and doing stuff.
Yeah.
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 But I had spoken to people that are on it this past weekend and.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, like, once I go there, you put it all out, and they're, and differently than some of the other programs that are offered, the allowed exemptions are.
That's what I mean,
For
and there's a lot,
Really,
and there's a lot of different ones you can take, so like, I don't think, I think it was, yeah, it seems like you really weren't able to, there's a lot of ways to not.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So that's, yeah, the open spaces and recreation planning, I should say, the capital committee. We are on, so we are, it's tentatively been approved to start using it, however, there are still a lot of sections that we're working on. But it has been, tentatively approved by the city. So they come back with some wording changes and clarifications that they wanted to do, and we're working with Justin Falbo, obviously, on some of the, like, litigation stuff and project stuff and home stuff and whatever, to get some of that more into that. So some weird stuff, we have to find out if the fund even existed that was in there, that was probably paid. So just a lot of updates, there's a lot of, like, there's just little tweaking that has to go. So I'm still doing that, we're still working on it, but, you know, it looks like it's, I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. Recreation's absolutely on. You know, like, yeah, we are in the, you know, like we should open spaces and recreation. Like that makes sense, right? So it's in there. So the app. So I'm gonna be working on this with my staff that I currently have. We need to go, I want to work on some research for, similar type program, pay rate, or the average pay rate for their agencies area. I just feel like we've always worked really hard to be fair and equitable with what we pay our staff. And it's been a couple of years since we put anything, and we've done some individual, like, rate changes as things have lost so much since COVID. But I think it's time to really look at it again and put something solid together. Okay, in year one, this is what we did. In year two, this is where we're doing. And solidify exactly why we're going to do raises with our split, you know. So, I'm gonna work on that. That's my topic project. I'm getting rid of. To start working on again, job descriptions out on the whole place, we will put them all together, what needs to be more defined separately. And again, what we're looking at, and I don't want to be like, oh, well, this something for recognition. I want to take a more global look with what's actually out there and happening, and we're seeing quite a difference with the teenagers as well. Like, so many of them, when we were younger, like I say, maybe we're all the same age here. Everybody has to do a job. Like, everybody has to do a job. That's not the case anymore. Most kids don't actually have jobs. They have school activities. So looking at the pool of what's available and who wants to work or who can work is a lot smaller. There's not as much. There's not as many kids out there. So I really just want to take a look and see where, you know, who's hiring, what's hiring, what they're looking at, what the kids are doing. As it is, like, so for this season, I have enough staff, however, not twice because two of mine that would normally be filling in on after school are open sports for the fall. So in the winter season, we're there, and then in the spring, I have two different ones. So I'm kind of rotating through their various seasons, and they're the ones that just do sports, I have, you know, there's other things, you know, they go on to this society or that society, and they're doing, you know, this other second job or whatever, so, it's been a while since we've had conference about it, I just think it's time to do that. Because you have to before, I think it's really in its time. Last time I think we really looked at it for minimum wage, like as a whole, instead of not big sale, was when minimum wage and when Massachusetts first dictated the 5 years, 6-year plan, whatever, that's the minimum thing. Increase it, so I think it's time. So that's my underneath, so that's on that. Yeah, also, one other thing, mornings. A huge congratulations and slightly far Megan, who's one of our rec counselors here, has actually taken a full-time job at Tech at one of the local schools. Yeah. So she works until she only works until 7:30. So I've been working with 7:30 till 9, but I can't do that for us. So I'm not sure how we're going to work that, or if I am just going to start looking at my schedule. My schedule.
Yeah.
You know, I just start my work schedule starts at 7:30. And yeah, in the morning, we do some mindfulness, we do some movement, and then we can interrupt it. Like, what do they want to do with mornings tends to be a lot calmer. It's not like I can't get to work and do more well. So, so again, just keeping you up to date with what's happening in the world. Anything else, guys? You have other business wise that you're.
I was thinking now that school has started, and I don't remember what happened. I think the numbers were low, they ended up getting canceled. But the 2 classes that we had talked about, the babysitting class, and the baseball class.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, because I thought, because we started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And people have been reaching out.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and sports is crazy over the summer, and life is crazy, but now that it's fall, I think it's kind of like. It's a little.
What happened with the run club?
So the one is still in the queue. It's
Okay.
about the big things that we're looking at are insurance and paying for that. Because we wanted to make this, again, more accessible. And then second, yes, I have a portion that is put aside for moving to Dresser. Right, a larger portion would come out of the following time. If I do it myself, I cannot do it myself, and we cannot do it. I need staff. Volunteers are great for one-shot deals for something long-term. So, that part has been stimulated. Because there's just not, again, we're not a funding set.
No, but like for a run club, what are you looking at doing?
Wanting somebody other than me, or just me, for the safety of those kids.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I got a couple of folks that love to come in and do like one-shot deals and talk about running shoes and good food and, you know, the kind of exercise and sleeping, and all that other stuff, right? And one-shot. But to have somebody consistently with me in order to run the kids and run, I can't be at both ends of the queue. I can't be with little and bigs, you know, and little and bigs, I know we shrunk it down, but you still have those kids that are taking off for a while, and the other ones that, you know, they're
Just
trying,
starting out.
but they're just starting up, right? So, it's still in the queue, it's just I can't seem to figure out a way yet to get around to the extra stuff we need without having to charge the period.
I just think if we need to think outside the box because, you know, every other sport, we'll say, in this town is run by volunteers. And I think if we just find the right niche of parents, we might be able to get not just a one-off volunteer, but someone who's like committed to do. It's hard to find volunteers, but when you find the right ones, it's,
Oh, no, it's a good thing.
I think it's at least worth a shot.
And are we still actively thinking about or looking for an assistant, or what's that?
So we still have the restrictions not up because again, we're waiting in the finance for the town. This whole purple bag thing and not getting into it, but again, that funding can still be in process. So I'm not doing anything with it right now. And again, it's not I think the total for $78 from the town, and the other 10,000 from recreation. So we have a new town administrator, and I think it's gonna take a little bit to get him up to speed in that phase. We've had a couple of very brief meetings about other things, but not an overview fully of recreation. And just sort of seeing like, yeah, it's basically,
Yeah.
no. Or they want me to send revolving first and come to them after. If that's the case, yes, that would be fantastic. I would like to take some of it. Yeah. And to be able to, track this out of the other one. The partnership, the green. Yeah. So I'll put together, let's do a flyer. For volunteers.
Yeah,
We'll do that first. We'll do a flyer for volunteers first before we do a flyer for Wi-Fi. Because like I said, I have to have at least 2 other people that are dependable that can be able, and I can't do them.
I feel like.
They don't want to charge a lot. You can do it. All right, I'm right, right now, I'm in the.
I don't know.
Well, right. But again, I mean, it's, it's not just, okay, we want Ron, but there's actual training, right? I don't want anybody to.
I feel like people that are into their running are like,
Yeah.
very passionately into it, so that's why I just feel like if we can tap that rec.
Yeah.
Thing there.
Yeah.
And like that.
Somewhere. Go.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a bunch of flyers, I'm not putting them far, you're gonna be getting part, you're gonna be getting part, we're just shooter. And when I take your airplane out the door to the right.
Yeah, I feel like driving next to, I'm not being pretty
Not
or
really
anything.
big.
Yeah.
Don't you have runner?
Yeah.
I'm just-
Okay,
Okay,
I am driving this one.
but there you go. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
so let's do that, let's pick a date for next meeting, so I can have some of these done.
Yeah, do you know your schedule now?
But if we do anything in October, I'm more free than I am, because I don't know what my schedule is yet in November. That's when they start.
Okay. October. Can we do a week of the 7th, 8th, or 14th of the week each? Well, no.
It's actually like really soon.
That's really soon, yeah. So we need to either do the week of, probably say we're off on Monday, but that, there's the 15th and the 18th, and we can do the very beginning of the next week, October. That's 21st.
The 21st, I would have to do like
Yeah. So we could do the
during the day.
Friday, if Fridays are better, if you guys want to do Friday the 18th. If not, what are you guys looking at your schedule?
Yeah, Friday would be good. That would have to be early, like now. That's the 25th. Did it get switched now? Oh, no, I didn't know if they. Or maybe that's the 26th. Yeah, I guess I'm late now. I know she said they didn't switch, so I don't know if it's, maybe. But
But if we
regardless,
Like
yeah.
1:30, then
Yeah.
it's-
If we're on the 25th, I cannot, because I'm subbing that day. The 18th, I can.
You want to do on 30, 1:30?
Yeah.
that works.
Matt, is that still up there? Getting in and out.
Well, right, I mean, well,
Might get better.
well, today was, it worked out just right.
Okay.
It was-
All right, well, I have a due date for a couple of these things, and some of them I'll send out in advance. Again, Liz, I got you signed to a couple things, Rachel, you're signed to a couple things for the CPUB. I'm now sending Matt to the other. So I'll send it to him. So I'll send you over my.
Mhm.
And then again, we can try and get some things rolled out and, voted on and stuff for the October meeting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, you wanna call it? Or you guys do one?
We're all set.
Motion to, we'll be meeting at, 2:24 p.m.
That's second. And then, favor. Yeah, favor. Aye.
I am.
Thanks, everybody.